Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm just getting ready and all set up to pour a new mold. I have this hand mold right here, and I'm just trying to figure out the compositions with all of my flowers. I have this beautiful purple that I think I'm definitely gonna put in as one of the fingers just because it's a really good size. Definitely gonna put some fern in there, and then I don't really know, maybe like a bunch of yellow mushrooms. Actually, what I think might be really pretty, I have a few water lilies in here, so maybe if I put that right in the palm, that could look really nice. And then this is my fun accent collection. It has all the pinks and purples. So to add some fun, I'm definitely gonna add some of this. I like to pick out all my flowers before I even get started, just to know what I'm working with. For this mold, I might have to do a couple layers just to fill the entire thing. So I have a plastic container right over there all ready for me to put my mold in while it cures. I don't really like moving things around after I've poured it because then it kind of shakes it up a little bit. But I'm going to do that in this situation because I'm working in my van, but I'm going to have it cure just outside of my van. And then for this project, I'm going to be using some casting craft. And look at all these sparkles. Is that distracting? That's alright, it's like my own filter. I was able to find this mold off of Amazon, so if I do like it, definitely going to include a link in the description to that if you guys want to purchase it yourself. It did take a while to ship, but that was definitely because of COVID. I love the way that I organize my flowers in these mason jars. I'm really easily able to see everything that's in there and what's going on and what I should use, and if it's worth digging for anything. But I'm actually really excited that I'm using a few of these materials today because I have this urge to go collect and dry some more. I haven't done that in a while, but only because I haven't had the room. So hopefully soon I can take you guys into nature and find some really cool stuff to fill these jars back up, because I know when winter comes, I will have regret every opportunity I've missed to go collecting. Unfortunately, winter lasts a pretty long time in Ontario. So using a mix of textures and colors and just spreading them around the mold evenly, I sprinkle in a few of the smaller pieces of nature around the mold, and then I put 3 brightly colored mushrooms in the fingers, and then I decide to put the prettiest flowers right in the center of the mold, like this variegated rose and a water lily. I love the petals of this water lily. They look like paper, they're so thin. Even though the petals curled a little bit, I tried to flatten them out before putting them in the piece. That might be one inconvenience about this way of storage. There is a slight amount of crushing that happens, but it's not really something I can avoid when I'm living in a van and everything gets jostled around all the time. So the first layer of this piece is finished, and I put that in a container and let that sit in the sunshine for a couple hours while it semi-cures, because it will need a second layer just to finish off the bottom and make sure all those flowers are right in the center of that resin. Then I quickly mix up some resin and catalyst and fill the mold to the brim and let that sit for a few more hours. So it's been about 12 hours and this thing is rock solid, super smooth, ready to come out of the mold. It's really overcast today, but I will be sure to get some really good shots of it. Okay. Ooh, it's a lot flatter than I thought it would be. Oh, it's adorable. Okay, I am gonna definitely get this through the next step. I don't think I should do it today because it's humid and cold and overcast. The best times to do resin is when it's hot and sunny. Opposite of right now, you might even be able to hear the rain on the roof. It's gentle. This is adorable though. Ooh, I'm so excited. So yeah, there's a little few imperfections that I have to sand down a little bit. This is just because of the resin I use. I don't think this would happen if I used a nice epoxy resin, but with polyester resin, it requires a little bit more maintenance. So I use my Dremel to sand down any of the sharp edges and get rid of any of the imperfections before my final top coat of more of the same resin. Resin usually works best when you pour a lot of it together, so when I did the body of this piece, it cured a lot faster than it will to cure just this top thin layer of resin. That's only because there's less heat when you do such a little amount, so it just takes a lot longer to harden fully. But what really helps speed this up is just letting it sit in the sunshine all day long, and it's basically done by the next day. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it's really pretty. It's got really good clarity, hardly any air bubbles. So I'll start at the top. For the fingers, I put in 3 mushrooms. So here's like an orange mushroom, here's like a yellow one, and here's a red one. I think those are really cool to look at. They stayed so vibrant. Underneath them is some ferns mixed with some carnation petals. In the center of the bowl, I put a water lily. There you can see the back of the water lily. I love how clearly you can see that, how nicely it's folded out, and how much dimension there is between the bottom and the flowers. Underneath the water lily is this variegated rose, and that looks stunning. I love the contrast that it shows. The pink in it is so pretty. And in the thumb is another thing that I found in the water. But altogether, this is like a really pretty piece. And I will definitely leave a link to the mold in the description of this video. Another resin hand to add to my collection. I should really make a hand art playlist because it seems to be a common theme on my channel, but I had a lot of fun doing it and I'm always so satisfied. And maybe in a future video I'll make a palmistry themed resin piece with one of my hand molds. That could be really interesting. Maybe creating the lines and the folds of the hands and the fingers with the stems of leaves or twigs and other things that I can find in nature. The way that resin can manipulate sunshine through it and create rainbows and color spectrums and just beautiful shadows is really exciting to me. And I'm really happy that it's something that I discovered that I can be creative with, at the same time preserving these beautiful pieces of nature that surround me and that I'm lucky enough to stumble upon sometimes. All my materials have a unique story of where they came from, and they mean a lot to me when I think about those memories. If you want to check out other videos where I used hands as an inspiration for my art, I also did a video where I show you how I made stained glass hands, as well as a resin orgonite piece that I'll link down in the description. So thanks so much for watching and have a good one.